I lead a program called Rainmaker. We have a team of people that help deliver and execute against the program through our regions as well as our partners. This is contra funds that fall under the MDF moniker. So we're talking the same language, just wanted to be clear there. And we've really worked to expand this program from not just an internal Red Hat marketing program, but really engaging our partners and getting them to also tell the benefit of our solutions out to their customers. So we've been developing and delivering marketing programs, activities that these partners can do. And I can explain to you how we set everything up. So if we could go to the next slide, Amit. So to just give you an understanding of the overall program. So in August of 2015, they came to me with an ask. Prior to 2015, they had funds that was really, they felt, sales focus. Well, going out to sales and asking them to create activities and do things to spend these funds, they were not getting quite the engagement that they thought that they would get to utilize those funds. So they asked marketing and said, hey, marketing, can you help us put in place a way for these salespeople, these marketing people to access the funds so that we can drive joint opportunities as well as revenue for the company. So in 2015, when I started working on it, we started out to, build that process. We had to figure out, how do we engage them? How do we get it out to the regions? How do the regions provide us feedback? So we started by building that process. How do we make those funds available? And then how do we utilize what we have to spend the money? So we knew that we had to provide an ROI back to the program to make sure that we're delivering what we said we would, and that we had to build a platform, a way in which to receive information, process claims, receive funds back in, and reimburse those cost centers, those stakeholders that did this activity, that we've approved the funds and they completed what was asked. So today, as we started to look, and this program has grown, so from where it started in 2014 to now, we've been able to increase it 800%. So that's because we were able to digitize it, make it, and I'll go into all that explanation on how we did that. But that allowed us to be able to really utilize the process, the flow, the funds, the regions, the partners through this type of program, and tracking all of it through Salesforce, making sure we're providing that required ROI to our to Intel. I mean, we were able to do a 67x on their return. So we exceeded their goals. We've been developing and expanding the program every year. We find new ways and abilities that we didn't know we had before. So if you'll move to the next slide, Amit, I'm going to explain how things used to be. And I have to tell you, it gives me a little heartburn to look at how we used to do this, a few years ago. I can share with you, anybody that is doing this through spreadsheets right now, it's a painful process, but I'll walk through it fairly quickly. But I do want to explain to you all the pieces and parts. So as I said, we've got sales, we've got marketing, we've got regions, we've got partners. We have all of this inputting of data via email in sharing Word documents, trying to keep version control because, it's a collaborative process. The requester submits the information. We have feedback for them, things that may be missing. We don't understand what they're trying to do. We're trying to pull that data so it goes back to them and then it comes back to us. Then we have to track that spend on a spreadsheet and make sure that the Salesforce offer code is attached. And we're receiving this on both ends coming in. Then we had to get approval from the Intel geos. So Tasso in EMEA or Chris in APAC, Dawn in North America. We had to send them that request, a Word document that they would go in and say, I don't understand, explain it to me, please. We would then take that information back from them, send it back to the field marketer or to the partner, make those changes, send it back to the geo, say, do you agree? Yes. Then we had to send it to a third party. And that third party helped us put it into the format that IMX, which is Intel's Marketing Exchange, where is their clearinghouse of how they approve funds and pay funds. So we had to send it to somebody. They had to input all that data. You know, obviously there's human error sometimes. So it would go then to IMX, then IMX would approve it. It would have to go back to that third party. The third party would say, okay, here you go. Here's the approval, here's the number. All of this is done in emails and documents. Total, you know, you could just, like I said, it's heartburn. It was an extremely manual process. It was something that was very hard. And think about it, if you have 15 of these going on, 20. So it was really hard to scale because of how many were flowing back and forth. It's very easy to lose version control. So we ended up saying, okay, we've got to get a platform, something that's going to help us. And perfect segue, thank you for advancing, Amit. So Intel shared with us that they had been working with WorkSpan. And so we met with WorkSpan, went through our process, which I'm sure gave them a little bit of heartburn as well, and said, you know, hold on, we can digitize this for you. We can make the flow linear so that, you know, the requester puts the request in, the request goes to Janelle, who manages this overall project. Janelle then does her review, says, yes, this is a great program, no changes needed. It then goes to the geos for approval. If there's changes, she easily sends it back through the tool, the WorkSpan tool, and they just then say, okay, changes have been made, here you go. So if there's no shifting information, it stays in its original format. Then once it goes approved by the geos, it's got to go to Intel for approval. It's all in one tool. It's completely combined. Intel looks at it, and then the best part, I got to tell you, the best part is it goes directly into IMX. There's no third party. There's no chance for any human errors. It's an opportunity to have everything encapsulated and goes to IMX and turns around and comes back to us. This used to take, in the old way, well, it could take a month from the inception, but just in getting it into, you know, a format and then putting it to IMX and IMX back, it's now days. If it's approved by Dawn, it goes to IMX, and usually 24 hours, it's back. We have our approval. Janelle sends out an email showing this approval because it comes to us in an email. Janelle sends that out to the requester, and we can begin supporting that activity. So it's been just easy to manage the reporting. I worked with David at WorkSpan. He's built some great, more higher level that I care about reporting that's going to come to me automatically. that I can just get a snapshot. Like I can see, where does each region stand in spend? Where does it stand in balance that they have? And then how do we help them with that? So there's a lot of benefit to having your program digitized by helping to streamline the process. Because in the old way, I can tell you there was a lot of frustration in the time it took, the back and forth, the losing the documents, and just think about if someone's out on vacation. I mean, that even delays things even more. But now it's in the tool. Janelle's out, I can go in. If I'm out, someone else can go in and just help keep that flow, that going. Not to mention, the old way, you could only do so many requests because it became hard to control. We have 50, 100 of these going at any given time, either in some stage of the process, either in starting to fill it out, all the way to processing claims, making sure the proof of performance is there. So it's really allowed us to expand our breadth of engagement and utilize funds more because we have more access and more availability to do that. And all while leaving the team as the same. So no changes to adding more resources. We're able to do this in its current format. So next slide on it, please. So here are all the great benefits, and it is because we have digitized this, it is because we're able to manage more requests, more funds. We've been able, I mean, you can see all the percentages there. I don't need to read this for you, but it's really allowed us to align with what Red Hat's go-to-market is, what Intel's requirements are to help us deliver the right programs to create the right opportunities that give us the revenue in which we do. As I mentioned, from the old program to now, we've been able to eliminate 6 of those steps out of our process because of digitizing this program. We've been able to remove the third-party vendor totally. We've been able to refine our process, and we've been able to deliver the program more efficiently. And as it says here, we have global buy-in from even from these small country managers that don't really get a big budget, but they know about Rainmaker. We talk about it on global calls. We talk about it on regional calls. We have ongoing calls with our teams across Red Hat to know, so that they know these funds are available. If you submit the right request into WorkSpan, you give us the right information, we can support it. So we'll go to the next slide. Here are some of the things from my experience in creating this program and over the last 5 years is make sure you document your business process. It really early on, it was just kind of haphazard. You know, we weren't quite, 100% on best practices. Don't stop refining that. Go digitizing it. It just makes your life a lot easier. But it's important to make sure that your process is down and that you're able to articulate that to anybody that would like the funds so that they understand what's required of them. Make sure you're having these regular cadences. It can be across globally, but making sure that they understand what are those activities that are supported? How do I input it? We do training every year, making sure that people have access and know how to use the tool. Super easy, really user-friendly. We've had lots of thumbs up about the interface and, okay, I get it. This is what I put here. So I think you'll find real easy for marketing teams to build those requests and follow up with those. And then for us, we have to provide that ROI back to Intel. And we have to show the organization that this team is able to deliver on that ROI. So we track very closely what is happening across those events, making sure that leads do get uploaded into Salesforce, that we do have the right process in place to be able to share with them what reporting is available and share that out broadly with the Intel team. But it's been a great program. I still see, even though we've grown to where we are today, I still see an opportunity for great growth, especially engaging our partner ecosystem, being able to provide them the support they need, pay them directly, and making sure that, you know, they're delivering for both Red Hat, Intel, and themselves.